What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the LAS Philly Sports Podcast. I'm Lath Sinclair. You'll understand that I needed to react to the Luka Anthony Davis trade. I know this is a Philly sports podcast, but if you watch all sports, you know that that's a huge deal. So I wanted to talk about that. And again, I apologize that it's been a week since the Eagles won the NFC Championship and are now heading to Super Bowl 59. And in that game, they'll be facing a familiar foe down in New Orleans, the Kansas City Chiefs, who have won two Super Bowls in a row and they are trying to three-peat. And obviously, we have the bad memory of 2 years ago where they beat us in Arizona 38-35 in Super Bowl 57. I'm using this video instead so that we can have a good memory of beating the Chiefs instead of that painful memory of losing to them in the Super Bowl. I think this game was probably one of the few highlights of last season. But, and I've seen a lot of different perspectives on how to look at it. Some people are like, they want revenge. They like this matchup because they want to get revenge for the last time. They want to stop the historic three-peat. For me, I'm a little nervous just because, it literally happened 2 years ago where they beat us, and the way it ended was horrible with the James Bradbury penalty. It was awful. But you never know. This year we have the number one overall defense, and we're giving up just 278 yards per game. The Chiefs' offense hasn't looked great, although you can't really count out Mahomes. And we also added Saquon Barkley, who ran for an Eagles record 2,005 yards and is an MVP candidate. So you never know. But it should be a good game. And yeah, one thing I'm concerned about, it's what that seems like almost a repeat of 2 years ago. It's not necessarily that we might lose. I'm confident that we can win this game. My concern is that we might once again lose a coordinator to the team hosting the Super Bowl. If you remember 2 years ago, the Super Bowl was in Arizona, and the day after the game, Jonathan Gannon, our defensive coordinator, was hired by the Arizona Cardinals. And this year, similar story. The Super Bowl is down in New Orleans. The Saints are the last team looking for a head coach. They're the only vacant head coachancy vacancy that remains. And it looks like the leading candidate is our offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore. He's had a couple interviews, a couple talks with the Saints. One report was saying he's already putting a staff together, so he may already have the job, which concerns me. I'm happy for him. I think he could be a great head coach. I think the Saints situation is a bit of a disaster, but I wish him well. But what I'm concerned about is the game on Sunday. Will he be distracted? Will he be focused on the Eagles, or will he be thinking about the Saints? And will that cost the Eagles on offense and cost the Eagles a Super Bowl? Just like it seemed to cost them with their defense not playing well because their coordinator might not have been focused. I don't know. I'm not trying to pin that. I'm not trying to put things on Gannon or Kellen Moore like that. They're professionals, but they're also human, and it's natural to be distracted, especially if you've already gotten a job. If he's already gotten the Saints job, it would be only natural to be a little distracted. So hopefully the play calling is on point and he's focused and ready to go, because I know I speak for all Eagles fans when I say we are ready to roll for another Super Bowl title. We want another parade on Broad Street, and most importantly, we'd like to defeat another dynasty. We defeated the Patriots dynasty temporarily because they won the next year, but we beat the Patriots dynasty for our first Super Bowl. It'd be kind of cool to beat the Chiefs dynasty for our second Super Bowl. And a lot of people are tired of the Chiefs. Another thing that has me concerned, and I think a lot of people are concerned about this. I think I'm sure some Bills fans would agree with me. The referees are going to be a concern. We remember that Bradbury penalty, and there were some questionable calls in that Bills Chiefs AFC Championship as well. There was some controversy in the NFC Championship. There were some complaints that the Eagles were also getting calls, but I think it's more blatant with the Chiefs. And we gotta play well enough that the refs can't be a factor. Um, yeah, we gotta play our best football. We gotta play as well as we've been playing, and then better, and then play even better than that. Um, Jalen has to be on point. The defense needs to get to Mahomes. That was another issue. We had 70 plus sacks going into the first matchup with the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and we didn't get to Mahomes once. And maybe that was also due to the field conditions, but both teams had to play on that field, so it wasn't a problem for the Chiefs. But yeah, I think our number one defense will be a key factor in us coming out victorious. Um, and the refs, we can't let the refs decide the game. I don't want neither team wants that. I mean, it should come down to the players and the coaches. Who plays better and who coaches better? That's who should win the game, not one penalty call. That's not what should win a Super Bowl or any game. Certainly not a Super Bowl though. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. The Eagles are again in another Super Bowl. This is the fourth time that the Eagles are in the Super Bowl since 2000. It's the most in the NFC. Um, yeah, but we got a Lombardi Trophy that's probably feeling kind of lonely. He needs a friend, so hopefully we can give him that friend on Sunday. And as always, go Birds.